Well, I was here at Bethel in November of last year, November of 2007, and I came to a conference and I had been diagnosed with prostate cancer. And there's a whole bunch of story that goes before this, but I'm going to kind of cut to the chase here. I was at the conference. I met a young woman at the end of the first day, leadership conference. And at the end of that first night, I turned around and I saw her name tag that said Sudan. And I said, "What are you doing here, Lisa?" And she goes, "Well, I've been with an Irish team in Sudan, and we've just been seeing amazing miracles. And but I got really sick. And I came here in response to a dream to get healing for MS, ME, and West Nile virus. And I got healed. Bill Johnson prayed for me. I got healed. And she looked me right in the eye and she said, "What about you?" And I said, "Me?" She goes, "Yeah, you." And she didn't know me. And I said, "Well, yeah, I have prostate cancer, but I'm trusting God for that." And she goes, "I want to pray for you. Will you let me pray for you? I'm supposed to pray for you." And I said, "Well, sure." And she goes, "The last 5 people I prayed for all had cancer, and every one of them have been healed." And I said, "Let's go for 6 for 6. And so she put her hand on me, and I felt electrical currents. I hadn't felt this since I got baptized in the Spirit many years before. And I felt warm. My body got all warm. And so I kept hearing in my mind, "It is finished." And so I reported to Melissa. I said, "I'm hearing 'it is finished' over and over again, and I felt this warmth." And she said, "You need to get retested. Will you get retested for the glory of God?" And I said, "Well, it's a painful biopsy. I'm not really looking forward to that. But okay." So I went back to my doctor, and I had to really convince my doctor, because he said, "Look, you've got stage 2 prostate cancer. It's right here. Here's the pathology report. I've given you 6 months. It's time to make your decision." So he really wasn't very excited about doing another biopsy. And I said, "Well, Doc, I've had a lot of prayer, and, I just want to do this." So I finally convinced him, and he says, "All right," very reluctantly, "I'll do the biopsy on you again." So he did the biopsy, and he did extra, so it was 13 needle biopsies. And he called me a week later, and he said, "Mr. Bemis, you don't have cancer anymore." And I said, "Wow." I go, "What do we do?" He goes, "We don't do anything. You're clear. We'll follow up on your PSA for the next year or so." And I said, "Okay." I go, well, Dr. Blani, what do you think about a God who can heal of cancer?" And he goes, "Well, honestly, now I have to say anything's possible." So that's that part of the story. The next part of the story is, since that time, since last December, a year ago, I've gone back to my church, which was a really struggling, a church that nearly died. And that church has really taken off. And we're on the cusp of revival. We're seeing great things in my town's Petaluma. We're seeing God doing great things. There's been several more miracles. We've had a guy who was deaf in one ear, whose ear opened up. We've had a couple cancers healed. And God's just been doing a lot of things. A lot of people getting saved. A lot of young people coming in out of the woodwork and just from nowhere. And so God's just been doing great things. And our church is really alive now again. So glory to God.